Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Matthew, and this is a quick class that's really meant to get everything moving. So it's going to be a quick class that's actually like a well-rounded practice in a small amount of time. So what's going to be helpful is if you have a strap or something that you can use as a strap, and if you use a block or something like that in your standing poses, let's go ahead and gather that up. And then let's start on the back. So lie down on your back. All right, so once you lie down, bend your knees, step your feet apart, and then rest your knees on each other. So even though it's going to be a short practice, we'll just take about a minute, like 1 minute at the beginning here, not really doing too much. So just kind of landing in, settling in, really. So I've stepped my feet just about as wide as my mat, and then I have my arms overhead, but feel free to put your arms in whatever position is relaxing. And just take a couple deeper breaths. All right, that's plenty of time. Pull your right knee into your chest, grab onto your right knee, and then wrap your belt around your right foot and extend your leg up. So we'll do some hamstring stretching and hip stretching before we get up and get going. All right, so right leg extended up. Take both belts in each hand, so one in the left, one in the right, and go ahead and extend both legs if you can manage to get them straight. It's all good to do this one with your left knee bent if you have a little bit more restriction in your body. But a few deep breaths here. So using this one more or less for a hamstring stretch on that top leg. So more concerned with getting the leg towards a straight position than bringing the leg closer to the face. All right, take one more breath. And then let's go ahead and swap sides. So left foot into the belt, and then right leg extended along the ground. The belt itself, have it just below the balls of your toes. So there's many different areas on the foot you can put the belt, but go just underneath the balls of the toes. So whenever you pull on the belt, it actually adds a little bit more, let's say, oomph into the lengthening of the back of your leg. And a little bit more interest in breathing deeper. So one or two more. All right. So let's go back to the first side. So complete the breath you're on. Go back to the first side. So right leg up, left leg down. This time take both belts in your right hand, and then open your right leg out to the right. Now I'm able to keep my right leg straight as I take the leg out to the side and grab my foot or big toe instead of holding onto the belt. So if that's you, go for it. But do minimize the amount of movement of the hips and the midsection to the right. So it's gonna naturally your pelvis wants to move to the right with your right leg. Minimize that a bit, but we're already out of this variation. So bring your right leg up Take the belt off, hug your right knee into your chest or in towards your chest, and then move your right knee to the right. So move your right knee across your body until your right hip starts to lift up. Hold there for a breath or two. And then we might as well keep going. So go ahead and twist more. Come all the way onto the outer left hip. Extend your right leg, or right arm out to the right. And then those of you that can extend the top leg in this position, go ahead and re-extend your top leg while grabbing the foot in your left hand, or use the belt as an alternative. All right, come back through center. Release the pose and then recenter yourself on your mat. There's a tendency to kind of shift around with that one. Left side. So put the belt around the left foot, extend your left leg up, and then extend your right leg out. Both belts in your left hand, unless you're able to grab onto the big toe, and take your leg out to the side. Know that you're gonna fall to the left. Just know that you're gonna go, the whole pose is gonna wanna go to the left, so just counter that a little bit by creating a little bit more stability in the midsection, the hips, the lower abdominals, and so on. So squeeze your outer hips in, turn your abdomen to the right, extend through your right leg. All right, bring your leg up to vertical. And now we're going to twist. So I'm choosing to have you go into it slightly modified. So pull your left knee in and then just move your left knee to the right. So right there you should feel this little bit of stretching in the outer left hip. Take a breath or two there. And if you need to stay there, this is a good place to stay. Otherwise, let's twist more. Let's come to the outer right hip. Maybe re-extend that top leg as you hold on to it and reach your left arm out to the left. One more breath. All right, and then bring it back through center. Re-square everything up and hug your knees in towards your chest. Just hold on to your knees, your shins there for a moment. Take a breath or two. All right. Go ahead and release and come to all fours, setting up for down dog. All right, and then once you're ready for it, go ahead and launch into down dog. So hands outer shoulder width apart, feet about outer hip width apart, or hand width apart. Feel free to give it a little bit of swaying from side to side, meaning walk your dog or pedal your legs, however you want to say it. In my mind, what I'm trying to do here with this class is just more of a, let's say, a full body mobility style of class. Just get things warmed up and kind of lubricated and more suited for like a morning style of class, or even an end of day class if you're just looking for a more light practice. So once you've worked the wiggles out or the waggles out, go ahead and just hold your dog still for a moment, broaden it out, or base it out if you want to say that. Dig through the thumbs in the knuckles, finger pads, push them down a little bit forward. Burrow the balls of your toes down into your mat, and then firm the muscles of your legs up. Go ahead and stretch. Next exhale, walk to the top edge of your mat, standing forward bend with your feet hip width apart. Lift halfway up as you inhale, and then fold. Stand up and reach up. And release your arms. All right, turn to the right and take a wide stance on your mat. Gonna do a few standing poses here. So take a fairly wide stance, rotate your right foot out about 90 degrees, bend your right knee, and then side angle pose. Bring your right hand to the floor outside your foot and left arm over your ear. So here's a nice opportunity to use a block if you need to. If the floor or the block is still too low, bring your elbow up to your thigh and do a more modified version of the pose. But dig through your feet. Dig through that bottom hand. Rotate your abdomen and chest up as you stretch. All right, now this next inhale, stand up. Bring your block with you if you're using it. Parallel your feet. Set up side two, come down, bend the left knee. Bring the left hand down, adjust your feet, and then reach your right arm over your ear. Now the arm overhead position, for some shoulders, that might not be the best position. So if you have any, let's say, impingement going on in your shoulder there, just reach straight up towards the roof. If that's still problematic, just grab your top hip. Dig through your feet though. Pull your belly long, your side waist long. Smooth breathing. Soft tongue. Stand up. Parallel your feet. Come down into a warrior two-like stance and then side angle again over the right side. Now from here, we'll go ahead and slide into triangle pose. So straighten your right leg. Let your right hand slide up a bit higher, and then left arm up towards the roof. So your block may need to come a bit higher as well, or you can bring your right hand up to your shin, your ankle, or your foot there. Keep pushing through the left heel. Make your left leg a bit longer. Dig through your right hand and then stretch up through your left hand. All right, stand up. Bring your block, parallel your feet, side angle pose on side two. So left hand down, right arm over your ear. And then we'll do a triangle from here as well. So straighten your left leg. Adjust your bottom hand to the appropriate height for your pose. The hand on the floor, some people get a little too, let's say, caught on that aspect of these standing poses. I'm gonna suggest go for a pose that's pretty even in all different directions. So long bottom side waist, long top side waist, a lot of length in both of your legs, your spine. And sometimes you need to bring your hand a little bit higher to accomplish those things. All right, stand up, parallel your feet, and then bring your feet closer together. You can release the block. Release it. Take a breath here. Great. Take a wide stance. About a leg's length or so between your 2 feet. Warrior one to the right. So rotate your right foot out about 90 degrees, your back foot in 60 or 70 degrees. And then feel free to take a slightly wider stance to accommodate whatever's working or going on there. Bend your right knee till the right knee's over the ankle or close to it, and then reach up. So at first, go ahead and turn your palms to face the same direction you're facing. Stretch up. And then spin the upper arms out a little bit more until the palms are facing in towards each other. Maybe look forward, maybe look up, and then those of you that your shoulders are okay with it and that your arms can stay straight, bring your palms together as you gaze up. Let's take one more breath here. All right, straighten your leg. Fold forward, bring your hands to the floor. Slightly shorten your stance, look forward. And now with an exhale, fold forward and bring your head down. Release your head down. So variation on Parshavottanasana. All right, stand up. Second side of Warrior One. Bend your left knee. Reach your arms forward and up with the palms facing forward. All right, now spin the upper arms out until your palms are facing in towards each other. And then maybe keep stretching up until your palms come in to touch each other. Gaze forward or gaze up. Really whatever works on your neck, whatever you can still stay somewhat relaxed with. One more inhale. Straighten your left leg and fold forward as you exhale. Bring your hands down. Lift part way up and look forward. And then fold. Just go ahead and release your head, your neck all the way down. Push through your heels. Release and soften your tongue. All right, and then stand up with an in-breath, parallel your feet to the right, and then step or jump your feet into the center of your mat. Modified Tadasana pose or traditional classic Tadasana. Great. Downward facing dog. For this one, base it out a little bit more. So make sure you feel fairly broad and fairly lifted through the midsection in the pose. So feet quite wide. Mine are really close to the outer edges of my mat, as well as my hands. Hands and feet are really close to the outer edges of the mat. But then the midsection, the front of your pelvis, your abdomen, pull up. Okay. Let's come through seated with legs out in front. So starting with the staff pose. We'll do a little bit of midsection strengthening work. So lean back, bring your arms up, and then bring your legs up. We'll do Navasana variations or traditional Navasana. So shins parallel to the floor, squeeze your legs in, pull your back and chest up. Done. Or straighten your legs and lift your back and chest up away from the floor. All right, cross your legs. Right shin in front of left and sit tall for a moment. Stay here or fold forward for a couple breaths. So the Navasana pose, consider the boat pose, or known as the boat pose, translates into boat pose. Let's do it again. Sit up, tip the toes to the floor, reach forward, and then lean back. Bring your legs up. Stay here or straighten your legs, complete or full boat pose. Keep the lower back lifting, your sideways lifting, chest up. Left shin in front of right shin. stay upright if you need to, or fold forward and round your back. All right, sit up, stretch your legs out. We'll do it again, but with the option to do the rounded back variation of it, known as half boat. So go to full boat, or the modified variation, and then lean back even more. That's where it gets fun. Round your back, stay here, or interlace your fingers behind your head. Toes and eyes around the same level. Boat pose. Cross your right shin in front of your left and fold forward, or stay upright. All good to rock side to side a tiny bit. Great, let's do it again. Sit upright. Set up for boat again. Boat. Done, stay there, or half boat. Come halfway down. It's a rounded back position though, so rock to the back of your pelvis and lower back. Keep that arm position, or interlace hands behind your head. Come up to boat. And then left shin in front of right shin, with a forward fold or without. A little bit of rocking side to side if that feels appropriate. Release your jaw and release your tongue if they're becoming a little bit more tense, like mine was. All right, sit up. Let's do down dog briefly. All right, that was brief. Come to plank, come down to hands and knees, bring your forearms down. We'll do forearm plank now. All right, so interlace your fingers, elbows about outer shoulder width apart, and then step your knees back. Lift one knee up, done, or lift both knees up. Come into a forearm plank position. So shoulders more or less over the elbows, so really close to that. So you might need to adjust your feet so you can work that in there. Common tendency is to just try to stick the butt up really high. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. One more breath. All right, bring the knees down. Bring the pelvis down, the thighs down, and lift the chest into a sphinx pose. All right, one more of those. Set your elbows in place, and then lift your belly, lift your hips, your thighs, and your knees up for the forearm plank position. So just a short section of strengthening work. Pull the belly up, dig the tailbone down. All right, bring your knees down, hips down, belly down, but chest up, and then come all the way down. So lie face down. Take a couple breaths here. Enjoy what you've already done so far. All right, and then we'll do a little bit of back strengthening before we kind of round out the practice. All right, so make a pillow with your hands. So put your right hand on top of your left hand, and then place your forehead on that top hand, on your right hand. Now it's a variation on, you could say locust pose, but also known as Makarasana, crocodile pose. We'll be lifting opposite arm and opposite leg. So keep your forehead and your right hand touching as you lift your head up and lift your right elbow off the floor. Now, keeping that, stretch your left leg a bit longer and lift your left leg off the floor. So a couple breaths here. Few breaths really. And instead of going for height, go for length. Go get longer in your pose. All right, then release all the way down. Let's go ahead and switch hands. So left hand on top and do the second side. Bring your head up, bring your left elbow up, and stretch your right leg long to lift your right leg up. And even though you're not lifting your left foot, act as if you are. Even though you're not lifting your right hand, right elbow, shoulder, act as if you are. And then come on down. Right hand on top again. Let's go ahead and lift up. So first side again. I find that, that just the action of acting as if I'm going to lift my right leg, foot off the floor gets a fuller portion of the back of my pelvis to engage. Lower all the way down. Left hand on top, second side, come on up. So lift your head, lift your left elbow, lift your right leg. Get more of your body engaged with it by acting as if you're going to lift your left leg off the floor. Lower down. This time, rest for a few breaths. Okay, let's go ahead and go into down dog briefly. Just a few breaths with your spine in a more neutral-ish position. I'm choosing to bend my knees a little bit so the lower back has a chance to more easily pull into its natural curve. Then once you get that there, you can stretch your legs straight or straighter. Now let's do child's pose briefly. So with the knees apart, it's a little bit less, typically a little bit less flexion in the lower spine. All right. And then sit upright, sit back on your heels, or sit on a block like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you do just a bit of shoulder stretching. All right, so sit whatever position's comfortable for. We'll be here a couple to few minutes. Well, typically 2 or 3 minutes there. But interlace your fingers, straighten your arms, and then stretch your arms up. If you have shoulder impingement in either one of your shoulders, feel free to separate the arms wider. You might not have your hands interlaced. But let's go ahead and release, and then interlace the fingers behind the back. Move your elbows and shoulders back. Done. Or work your arms towards a straight position, or all the way straight. Just a few breaths, front of shoulder stretching. All right, great, release it. The right hand, grab onto your left knee and twist a little bit to the left. Your left hand, step it behind you if you have the floor close enough, and place it on the floor, but if you need to bring it onto your lower back, bring it onto your lower back. The right shoulder, keep moving it in the direction that you're facing. So don't try to pull it onto your back. Actually, move it in the direction you're facing. Left shoulder, move it behind you. Release. Go to the second side. So I'm using this as a dual might be tri-purpose pose, meaning 3 different reasons. I want there to be somewhat of a stretch on the back of your left shoulder. So keep reaching the left shoulder in the direction you're facing. The right hand, reach it behind you more, and then keep going so the front of your right shoulder stretches. The third purpose is to rotate your spine a little bit more deeply than we have throughout class. Release. Lie down on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Bring your feet down, reach your arms up towards the roof, and then cross your right elbow over your left elbow. And then try to grab the backs of your shoulder blades or between them. So a little more back of shoulder stretching. I'm choosing to rest my knees in on one another. So the front of my hips are completely relaxed. The lower abdomen fairly relaxed. Back of tongue pretty relaxed. All right, reach up again. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So left elbow on top of right. Grab the backs of your shoulders and allow your shoulder blades to stretch away from one another. Meaning, can you get more of your upper back and the floor to touch each other? Without really pushing into, more of a relaxing into it, kind of a process. All right, release your arms, stretch your legs out, and start to set up for corpse pose. Now, I told you the class would be short, so I'm going to leave you here. Stay here as long as you want. Adjust your body so you feel fairly even from side to side, front to back, top to bottom. All right. But thank you for practicing. Thank you for practicing with me. Appreciate it. Hope to hear from you and hope to see you sometime in the near future. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.